A flotilla of boats with families of Israeli captives on board has left Israel, heading towards Gaza's maritime border. They departed on a symbolic trip known as the 50 sail from Ashkelon in southern Israel, a reference to the number of captives that are still being held in the Gaza Strip. Well, let's go to Hoda Abdel-Hamid. She's live for us in Amman, and she's there because the Israeli government has banned Al Jazeera from reporting not just inside of Israel, but also the occupied territories. Hoda, it seems like an unusual move by Israelis to form a flotilla. What do we know about that and their demands?
Well, I think it's quite a desperate move by families who are very worried about the fate of their loved ones who are still held in Gaza. And I think probably that the degree of worry has increased since the release of images of two of the captives. They looked emaciated, just like Palestinians. They seem to also be suffering from the lack of food there. Now, they are hoping to have their voices heard by the captives themselves. One of the fathers actually had a megaphone and is talking to his son, hoping that his son could hear, telling him to hold strong, to keep strong, that the families are behind him. It's a very symbolic move, and there's no way to know whether actually that message will be heard by those it's intended to. But it's also a message to the government that time is running out and that the life of their loved ones has to be a priority.
So, as you said, a desperate move there, an important one for the families of the captives. Why is this happening now, do you think?
Well, it is happening now because later on today there will be a cabinet meeting about what to do next regarding the war in Gaza. And Israeli media has been in overdrive over the last 48 to 72 hours talking about the different options. And it seems, but this is again, there is no confirmation yet, but it seems that the option of a full-on occupation of Gaza is very much on the table. For the families, this is obviously very risky for their loved ones. They say that if that indeed happens, then the lives of their loved ones are doomed, that they would be killed or they will just be forgotten in those tunnels as their captors would probably flee. So they are calling on the Israeli society to hold protests in front of the venue of the cabinet meeting later on this afternoon. They are calling for people to go down to the streets and make their voices heard and show support for these families.
Okay, thank you very much for explaining all of that for us. Hoda Abdel-Hamid there, live in Amman.
Don't miss out and get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.